Well, I'm sorry about that. I accidentally clicked the home button on my phone as I don't have a camera to record on. So this video is going to be cut in two, which is a bit unfortunate, but I was talking about Patrick Beverley and I had a hard time finding any information on when he's going to be coming back. But um hopefully it's soon for the Mavs because or the Clippers, excuse me. Mavs don't want him back. Um because he's a difference maker for them, especially on defense. As I said, he can give them more lineup flexibility, and that's really important in this series. So, um, yeah, hopefully he's back soon. Never want a guy to be injured. The other big injury in this series is obviously Porzingis, and he has not yet been ruled out for Game 5, which is a great sign for Mavs and Mavs fans. So, yeah, I'll definitely be keeping an eye open to see what those two situations are looking like. Kawhi stepped it up down the stretch. He had a great third quarter. He finished the game with 32 points and 9 rebounds, 10 for 22 shooting, 3 for 9 from the field, 9 for 10 from the line. Seems like these are just the Kawhi numbers. Like he's getting 30 to 35 points, 8 to 10 rebounds, getting to the line 10 to 15 times every game. He's just really consistent, and obviously we all know he's great. And he had a great fourth quarter and overtime, really carried the scoring load for them. So, yep, you're going to get what you're going to get from Kawhi. Now they just need Paul George to step up as the other half of that star tandem. Um, why did the Clippers insist on always switching Reggie Jackson onto Luka? It felt like Kawhi is the best defender in the world. Why can't he try to navigate through these screens and get Reggie Jackson to switch back? I don't know, but um, the Mavs sure are happy because Luka had a great game. Whenever Reggie Jackson got switched onto him, they were hunting that matchup, and he knocked down shots. Nets Raptors. Nets fans, I'm sorry. I'm just going to preface this by saying I'm not going to talk about you guys too much because you have your own video coming out today previewing your off season. So, mostly just talk about the Raptors. The Kyle Lowry injury is scary. Hopefully he's back very soon because that really hurts this team. He's arguably still their best player. So they need him back because this team looks very different without him. Although they didn't need him yesterday against the Nets, but yeah, against the Celtics, he's very important. So hopefully he's back soon. The Nets just took every perimeter jump shot they could. They took 53s and 98 total shots, so more than half of their shots taken were threes. They shot 38% on those, so not a bad strategy. They just didn't have any defenders to throw at the Raptors, which is, what are you going to do? All their good players, not all, but a lot of their good players opted out. So this team was just not built to contend with a juggernaut like the Raptors, and yeah, into the offseason we go for the Nets. Karis LeVert shot the ball really well. Last thing I'll say about the Nets, but he was 6 for 9 from 3, which is just something that is great to see if you're a Nets fan because next year he's going to be asked to take a lot of those threes, playing off the ball with KD and Kyrie. So, I mean, he had 35 points yesterday. He's a bona fide star. And I hope they hang on. I got to slow myself down because I'm just getting excited, but we'll talk about the Nets more later. OG Anunoby is becoming a really good finisher. Obviously, usually his role on offense is kind of catch and shoot, but in this series, I've noticed he's not afraid to go to the rim, and he's thrown down some pretty impressive dunks on Jared Allen. So he's a great finisher. So is Norman Powell, who just had an incredible game. 29 points, 9 for 14 from the field, 5 for 9 from 3, 6 for 6 on free throws, and he was plus 31 for this team. That's a big, big, big boost for them coming off the bench. And Norman Powell's a really good player, and Like I said, I think he can take another step forward and become just below an all-star. This season, he already had a breakout year. And I think next year, he's, depending on what kind of scoring options the Raptors have, he could be a most improved player candidate. Matt Thomas, I saw something I really liked with him. He's kind of developing a move he can go to consistently when there's good closeouts on his three-point shot, because obviously he's one of the most lethal three-point shooters in the entire NBA. And the Raptors were really closing out well on him, or the Nets, excuse me. He is a Raptor. But he would throw up a ball fake and then take 2 dribbles and take a 18-foot bank shot. He did a couple times yesterday, and it looks like a good option for him. And if this guy wants to find a spot in the rotation for a good team, that's key for him to find another move he can go to when the 3 isn't there. Terrence Davis also played well yesterday. He had 14 points on 5 for 10 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3. And this guy, undrafted rookie, like I said yesterday with Lou Dort, I love these guys. They just play so hard. So fun to watch. And the Raptors had 100 bench points. It's not going to be... You're not going to beat a team when you give up 100 points to their bench. So, a very impressive effort from the Raptors bench with Davis, Thomas, Powell, and Ibaka, who very much took advantage of what the Nets wanted to do with putting Jared Allen on Siakam. So he had, smaller guy on him the entire game, whether it was TLC or Karis LeVert. And he had 27 and 15 on 12 for 14 shooting. So they just couldn't stop Ibaka. This Nets team was undermatched, so not too much to talk about here. Raptors-Celtics is going to be a great series. Very excited for that one. Jazz Nuggets. I kind of liked the lineup switch Michael Malone pulled out with Jeremy Grant and Monte Morris getting the start. Grant is my favorite matchup that the Nuggets have against Donovan Mitchell. So obviously I like having him on the court as much as possible when Mitchell is out there, which obviously Mitchell starts the game. So I like the change. Millsap was aggressive early. He got into a nice rhythm in that first quarter, and he finishes 16 points. So I think that's his series high. So the Nuggets definitely need more scoring out of him. He's probably the third option. So the more they can get out of him, the better, because this Jazz team can put up points, as we've seen. With the Jazz, I also just really like their role players. I've said I like Shawan Morgan, I like George Niang, and these guys play their role. Joe Ingles, they all play their role. They don't try to do too much, and that's part of what makes a great team when you have role players that are able to do that. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but I live on a golf course, and there is a guy cutting the grass right behind me, but anyways, I hope that that's not too loud, but yeah, Jazz have good role players that play their role, makes this team better. It was fun to watch the Jazz's multitude of playmakers attack Michael Porter Jr. Whoever he was on, they were taking advantage of it, whether it was Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, or Jordan Clarkson, all three of them. They found whoever he was on and hunted out that matchup, and at this point, I don't know how playable Michael Porter Jr. even is because of his defensive lapses. Obviously, he's a breakout star in this bubble, but he's got to put in a lot of work on defense in order to become a bona fide star, or even just a above-average starter, because right now, as great as his offense is, his defense really weighs him down. The Jazz without Mitchell and Gobert on the floor were a little hard to watch at times, but then Jordan Clarkson would score 9 straight points and it would all look all right. He finished with 24 points on 9 for 13 shooting yesterday, and he looks pretty good as a lead playmaker in those bench minutes. So, good player, great pickup for the Jazz at the trade deadline this season, and Um, yeah, he's just able to carry the scoring load without those two in. So, very key. He's been a very key player in this series with all of his scoring. Jokic's drop coverage in the pick and roll was not working at all yesterday. Mitchell was hitting mid-rangers. Conley was pulling up from three, and it just didn't work. So I think that the Nuggets need to make a scheme change there for Game 5. Yeah, and Jazz just look outstanding. Conley knocked down every shot he needed to. He changed the momentum back into the Jazz's favor so many times, finished with 26 points. That was just such an exciting game. We saw those superstar young guards, not superstar, but all-star level young guards just have great games against each other, going back and forth. Donovan Mitchell against Jamal Murray. These two just get me so excited for the NBA's future. Donovan is so efficient in the pick and roll. He makes great decisions, whether to find the open three-man. Conley was knocking those down yesterday when Mitchell found him, or get the lob to Gobert for the dunk, dump it off to Gobert for a dunk, find Royce O'Neal for a three, or pull up, go to the rim, take a step back. He's just has so many weapons in his arsenal, and he, as you can see, I'm a very big fan of his, so I could talk about him all day. Just such high potential. He's so young, and he's already such a great player. Him and Luka and Jason Tatum, I swear, those three just get me so excited. I love basketball so much. What a great sport. Jamal Murray was just keeping Denver in it, too. He had a 50 bomb, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists, so he was on triple-double watch. 18 for 31 from the field, 9 for 19 from 3, I believe, and 5 for 5 from the line. Oh, these two could score. It was so fun. What a fun game. And I'm glad the Jazz won because I think Donovan Mitchell is one of my favorite players in the NBA. He just is so good as an ISO scorer in the pick and roll. He has so many weapons, and he's just really a special player. Reminds me of Dwayne Wade. I always come back to that comparison. And then the other interesting matchup in the series is the Jokic-Gobert matchup. These two are top 3 centers in the NBA, and watching them go head-to-head for a whole series has just been so fun. I should say that I've only been able to watch Game 1 and Game 4 because I had cross-country practice during the time that Game 2 and Game 3 took place. But I also did watch these two teams play in the seeding game, and that game was outstanding, went to double overtime. So 3 great battles between these two teams, and I can't wait for Game 5. I hope that honestly, I kind of hope the Jazz lose, even though I like the Jazz a lot. I kind of would like to see them lose so we can see more of this outstanding matchup. Yeah, great day. Can't wait for that Celtics-Raptors series. I think that might be the best series of the entire playoffs. And today we're going to see some more Game 4s. Bucks trying to take a 3-1 lead. Heat going for the sweep. Lakers trying to take a 3-1 lead. And Rockets trying to take a 3-1 lead. And going to be a lot more fun basketball. Oh, the Nets and Sixers videos are going up, so I guess there's going to be 4 videos going up today, since this one is going to be cut into 2 pieces. But lots to talk about, I guess. And ladies and gentlemen, I will see you again very soon.